Yo, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a fusion rifle that I've been really excited about. And I don't really see too many people talking about it. It's been kind of like staying under the radar, not really being paid too much attention to. But today we're going to be talking about the Cruoris FR4, a brand new aggressive frame fusion rifle. Now the aggressive frames got complete reworks, or that's what it should have happened. But for some reason, they just fire normally, like how they used to. But they're actually supposed to be firing more like the Bastion, with like that 3-round burst type of like volley. But currently they're not. But that's how they're supposed to be. So if you're watching this video in the future and that's been changed, then kind of ignore this part of the video. But Bungie has essentially reintroduced this frame once again, since we had not seen a couple of these since Beyond Light. So they're definitely trying to get it back into the game and for more people to use it. And I think once that thing is fits, where the frame is not acting like it's supposed to, I think we definitely are going to see more people using them. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at what are the perks this weapon can get, what are some of the best ones, and the ones that you should be looking for if you're looking for a god roll on this weapon. And at the end, we'll also talk about the weapon itself, and also the frame in general, and what I think about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you guys do, remember to leave a like, and subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already. And now, let's get into it. And first, we gotta talk about how to actually get this weapon. And this is another world drop, baby, meaning that you're basically at RNG's mercy when it comes to like actually getting more of these fusion rifles. Like always, you could go into lost sectors certain days, you wanna farm this fusion rifle on the legend and the master ones, just to increase your chances. And also do the idle potion tech, you wanna get just a bunch of world drops. And if you don't know what that is, I'll make sure to leave it in the comments below. Check the pinned comment. That's essentially the biggest downside of this wardrobe weapons, that you can't just consistently get them. So that kind of sucks, but this one makes up for it with just the amazing perk lineup that it's got. We got so many good perks in both slots, so it's going to be really nice. And speaking of perks, that is the next thing that we're going to be taking a look at. Now we won't be taking a look at every single perk on each slot, we're essentially just going to be taking a look at the best ones, because I know that's what you guys are looking for. So let's not waste any more time, let's get into it. And let's start with the very first trade perk. Now these are the options that we're going to have for the very first trade perk. We have Eddy Current, Recycle Energy, Clown Cartridge, Discord, Threat Detector, and also Stats for All. And would you believe me if I actually told you that I can really see you putting any of these perks on the fusion rifle and still being pretty good? Because the way that these fusion rifles work is that they're definitely a lot more oriented, and also a lot closer range than some of your typical fusion rifles, especially to really take advantage of that horizontal spread you have with the fusion. So because of that, perks like Stats for All are actually perks that you can proc very easily, allowing you to take advantage of that extra handling, reload speed, stability. And since we are close to the enemies, you're also proccing perks like Threat Detector, which gives you that extra handling and stability whenever you're close. Then we have things like Clown Cartridge. This is gonna extend our magazine and just let us shoot for longer. This is pretty good. We also have an Eddy Current on this weapon, which is going to give you like super reload speed and some handling whenever you are amplified. This is really good, especially if you're on an arc build, because it essentially guarantees that you always have tons of reload speed and you can just constantly reload this thing really fast. But the perk that I saw and was really excited about in this slot, especially if we're going to be at clearing with a lot of this weapon, is of course Discord. Now Discord is essentially going to let you have unlimited ammo on this weapon, as long as you can continue to get kills just over and over again. Whenever Discord is active and you get a kill with this weapon, it will refund you that shot. Essentially like you just never used it, meaning that you can just spam your special weapon as long as you want, as long as you keep getting kills while Discord is active. And since we're going to be going mostly for ad kills with this fusion rifle, this thing is going to be perfect, and essentially it's going to make it so we can just spam this fusion rifle over and over again. I've never really run into any ammo issues because we're constantly getting ammo back from Discord. So I think Discord for this first slot is actually going to be your best bet, with Eddy Current and also Clown Cartridge also being some pretty good options. Now for your second perk, these are going to be our options. We have Rolling Storm, Elemental Honing, Success Warm Up, Barrel Constrictor, Kickstart, and then lastly One for All. And let's get the one that I know everyone's going to be going for out of the way, because Bolt Charge is just crazy right now, and it's Rolling Storm. Whenever you get some final blows with this weapon, you gain Bolt Charge, and whenever you are amplified, final blows with this weapon give you additional Bolt Charge. So whenever you're not amplified, you get 1 stack Bolt Charge, and whenever you are, you get 2. And this weapon is actually fairly decent at building up that Rolling Storm, since you can hit quite a lot with that horizontal spread, and once it gets fits, and you actually get to do multiple rounds of that horizontal spread, I think it's going to be able to charge this thing even faster. Now, is it going to be able to charge it as fast as the aerial effect grenade launcher? I'm not sure, but I still think it'll be able to charge it pretty fast, and if you're a big fan of fusion rifles, this is going to be like your go-to. Rolling Storm is, without a doubt, the best perk you can actually get on this column. But that being said, I do want to take a look at 2 other different perks that I think would also be pretty good. The first one being successful warm-up. Whenever we get some final blows with this weapon, it decreases our charge time. And the decreased charge time, I think is going to be pretty good for like dealing with some of the bigger enemies, or if we're just killing ats a little faster. So this is definitely something that you can look into. I don't think it's going to be as good as Rolling Storm, but it's something that you definitely should look at. And the final one is One For All. Now, I typically would never consider actually telling you to go get One For All on a fusion rifle, but this thing is an exception, again, because of its horizontal spread that can hit multiple things. So it is actually quite possible to just hit 3 different enemies just with 1 shot and proc One For All, meaning that you get that 35% damage increase after you use 1 shot instead of having to use 3 like you sometimes have to with the fusion rifles. And because of that, I definitely think One For All is a little better on this fusion rifle than maybe some of the rest. And the extra damage is definitely going to help whenever it comes to like dealing with some of those bigger enemies. It's definitely going to be very nice. So those 2 I think are going to be the best perks that you can actually get on this weapon. And now let's move on and actually start talking about some god rolls. Another very first roll that I recommend that you guys go for is going to be the all lane on the arc, and it's Eddy Current plus Rolling Storm. You're going to be getting all that bolt charge every time that you get some kills. And since we're always going to be amplified, you're always going to be taking advantage of Eddy Current. But it's not going to be the only good Rolling Storm roll, because Rolling Storm is going to work with pretty much everything. Clan Cartridge Rolling Storm is also going to be really good. And also my personal favorite, Rolling Storm plus Discord. You're going to be getting all that bolt charge every time that you get some kills, and you're going to be constantly getting ammo back with Discord, meaning that you could add clear even more. This is one of those rolls that makes this weapon very unique, because it's one of the only weapons that can actually do this. Now, if you want to go with One For All in this fusion rifle, I would recommend that you pair it up with either Discord or Stats For All. I think those are the ones that are going to work the best. If you go with Discord, then you can use it a lot more often and take advantage of that 35% damage just a lot more. I actually did end up using a One For All Stats For All roll for a while, and it actually was really nice. And that extra 35% damage increase was definitely very good. But those are going to be the god rolls that I recommend that you guys go for on this weapon. They're not the only good ones, but they're definitely the ones that I'm looking forward to. But as long as you get Rolling Storm on basically anything, it's going to be pretty good. And now let's talk a little about the weapon and also the frame when it comes to these fusion rifles. Okay, so I actually kind of waited on this final part of the video just to see if Bungie was going to fix the aggressive frame fusion rifles anytime soon. But they are still broken, so I can't actually give you my thoughts on the aggressive frame just yet, because they're still just doing the same thing they used to do before, instead of doing the burst that it's supposed to do, like the Bastion. I actually started to think that this is not even a thing that was happening. I actually had to go back into the patch notes to make sure that this is something that's actually happening. It's not something I dreamt up. And no, it's in the patch notes. The aggressive fusion rifles were reworked, and they're supposed to be firing in 3-round bursts, but they don't. So yeah, I'm not sure when they're gonna be changing that. So hopefully it's soon, so we can really see what this fusion rifles are all about. But it performs pretty much how I expected it to with the horizontal burst. It's really good at clearing some ats, and it still does some pretty good damage against some of the bigger enemies, which is really nice. Sure, it sucks that we don't have the 3 bursts it kind of supposed to have. So I wonder if like the damage is lower because we're supposed to be shooting 3 times instead of we're only shooting once, or if the damage numbers were just never changed on these fusion rifles. There's a lot of different questions with this fusion rifle rework that was supposed to have happened, but hasn't yet. Well, that's pretty much everything that I could say about the weapon for now, without knowing exactly like how good this rework is supposed to be or not. I definitely like it at the current state, but I think that once it actually gets fixed, it's gonna be much better, and we're really gonna see the potential this fusion rifles have. I feel like they're gonna do a lot of damage up close, and they're gonna turn into like shotgun or like 1-2 punch shotgun versions of the fusion rifles. Kind of like that. But with that, we're gonna end today's video, and let me know what you guys think about this fusion rifle. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Have you got any good ones to this? And have you actually given it a try yourself? But anyways, thank you all for stopping by today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.